Awesome. All right. Welcome back, UST fans. Today we have a very special guest. We have a UFC fighter coming up on his UFC debut on July 31st. We're super excited to have him on. He's a beast, Orion Cosce. Orion, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Glad to be on.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you. And I can say for at least myself and Bryce, we watched you on the Contender Series, and honestly, seemed like a absolute beast. A lot of fun in there in the octagon, but also getting down to business. And we're excited to have you on. So, first question, we got to know the nickname. At least there's got to be a story behind it. I know it kind of fits with your name, but at least tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my high school wrestling coach actually gave me that nickname from when I was just a little kid. He just told me Galaxy. And so it kind of just stuck around. I had a bunch of different nicknames going around. I worked out hella hard. So I don't know if you guys ever watched that movie, The Program, where there's a guy called Latimer. He just fucking goes insane during his workouts. And I was like, all right, whatever. I don't give a shit. That guy was a roid rage though. But that's kind of how I was. Not a roid rage in a sense, but like when I work out hella hard. So like even last night I ran 4.5 miles just because, me and the wife took a road trip and we just decided to go visit some, a sponsor buddy of ours and another family friend of mine. And I was like, yeah, fucking, I got to get this workout in. So it was like 1:30 at night when we ran 4.5 miles. And no, it felt good though. I'm going to go do another 4.5 today, try to do a little bit faster today. And then, yeah, pretty much the Galaxy is, the nickname just because Orion. I always thought about doing like Legendary Super Saiyan or something like that, but
that would be sweet.
It just always stuck though. It just always stuck.
Yeah.
So who knows? I do the signature Kamehameha in the cage every single time before the fight, after the fight. So that's never going to change. And then the Dragon Ball Z tattoo as well.
Gotta have it.
I'm actually going to add another one though. So I'm a huge Legend of Zelda fan. So this is off topic, but what I'm going to do is, so I have the whole entire, like, I'm the Hope Universe quote right here. Okay. So, but on the other side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time, like twosome piece, kind of like mix it together and put it on the chest piece right here. So I have something with Majora's Mask as the heart piece popping out of the chest, and then have something from Ocarina of Time incorporated into it as well.
Dude, that's going to be sweet.
Dude, that's what's up. Aren't they making a new Zelda game coming out here soon or something?
Dude, those motherfuckers just need to hurry up and make another show. I remember watching the show when I was a little kid. So those top stickers better fucking figure it out.
Dude, yeah, like the other UFC guys we've had on here, well, I guess only one other UFC fighter. Like he said that he had a ton of other nicknames bounce around too. So I guess that's something common in the world of MMA that I guess I didn't know before having the podcast.
Yeah, no, there's always nicknames. People are like, hey, what's going to be your fight nickname?
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I was like, I don't give a shit, dude. I just want to go beat people up. I'm like Goku. Fuck, call me Goku. Change my name to
call me whatever you want.
Like, just walk in and don't even call me Orion Cosce. Just say Goku. And we had a good laugh about it, but I was like, no, we'll stick with Galaxy. I mean, it makes sense. My first name's Orion, and it obviously played well too because during the interview with Laura Sanko right after the fight, she said, it says that your name's in the stars. Your nickname says it all as well. Do you feel like this was destiny? And it's just like, see, it played out just fine. So the nickname's in today, but maybe I'll change it if I ever get to fight in Japan. Just for if I ever fight in Japan,
just maybe one time.
Oh, dude, I'm definitely gonna walk out to Legendary.
So obviously on the Contender Series, you fought. Then a few fights later, your brother fought. Like, what's it like seeing success alongside your brother? Is that like one of the coolest feelings of all time, being able to go hand in hand and both coming up in the UFC at the same time?
So we fought on multiple cards before. We fought on the same cards. We cornered each other and stuff like that. That was the best feeling ever, though. Being able to fight on the same card and then like gets the UFC together. That's always been our dream. I told him too. So it was crazy. 3 years ago, so last year, so 3 years before that, I told him, I was like, dude, watch, in 3 years, I was like, 2020 will be our fucking year. That's the year we're gonna make it to the UFC. He's all, what makes you think that? I was like, because we need I was like, he even agreed too. I was like, dude, the only reason we're not in the UFC is because we don't have a manager. We don't fucking know people. Nobody knows who the fuck we are. We just keep taking whatever fights that we can get. My first 2 pro fights were both in Wisconsin because no one else would find me. I tried to get fights on other promotions. They're just, we don't really know too much about you. You're only 3-0 as an amateur. I was like, well, that's because not all my amateur fights are posted on Tapology. And they're like, oh, well, go in and fix it. I was like, no, I already just told you, like, you can find the footage from other shit. I don't need to fucking go in and fucking update Tapology. Tapology can suck a dick. Right. I don't care about them. So as an amateur, I was 8-0, but it was 2 years. Tapology has it as 4 years, but that's because they didn't update it. But it was 2 years between my last amateur fight and my pro debut. And during that 2 years, that was just me trying to find a fight. I had people backing out week of the fight, a couple of weeks before the fight. I had one instance where I had to back out, but that's only because I started having heart issues. And then I found out I had mitral valve prolapse, but I'm all good to go. I just figured, hey, Goku had a heart condition. I can have a heart condition. It's no big deal. And then, from there, I finally got a pro fight. I had a buddy of mine. He lived in Wisconsin. He's promoting fights. He's all, hey, bro, I'd love to have you on the show. And so went over there, had a fight. And then I had another fight again to win his organization's native title. And then finally, got some more fights. Just ended up in 2019. It was 3 fights in 5 weeks that I picked up. There's supposed to be 2 fights in 5 weeks, but then after a night of my third pro fight was against this guy named Ryan Wilson. I went in, tried to throw a head kick, and it ended up, because he's so damn tall, slapping him across the carotid artery. It shut down his. I guess it really fucked up his breathing. He hit me up at a fight. He's all, thanks to you, I can never fight again. And I was like, fuck, dude. I not trying to end your career, but I was like trying to end his career. That's the fight.
People say that not meaning it literally, but you actually kind of did that literally.
I don't go out there to be buddy with these fucking dudes. I'm trying to go out there to hurt them. If they, they're all good afterwards and they want me to buy them a shot, or if they're down to hang out after, I have no problem with that. But during the fight, I'm out there having fun, trying to beat the shit out of them. That's why I'm smiling when I'm in the cage and stuff like that. I smile when I'm in the cage. I smile when I'm fighting. And then I was in bed. It was like 12 in the morning. And I just got done celebrating with family and friends for another, for like the second night in a row. Because the night of the fight, obviously celebrate. I went back home. We celebrated with my family down there that I was staying with at the time. And then they're all, hey, we got this guy. He's also undefeated. He fights at 185. You want to do a catch weight at 180? I was like, let me think about it. Like, let me take, I got that fight. And then because it was the promoter of the other fight, he called me, and he's also like a really good friend of mine. He's also in my corner. He's all, no, I'll sign off on it. I have no problem with it. I was like, fuck, if you have no problem with it, then fuck yeah, give me the fucking contract. What are you waiting for? And so that's all I needed to know. I just wanted to be like, hey, I just don't want you thinking I'm flaking on your show. He's all, no, take this fight. It's a lot bigger of a show. It's going to be, it was at Universal Combat. So it was like aired over on like the Asian time from ESPN, the Asian ESPN and stuff like that. So I was like, I can't miss this opportunity. And my brother and I, we got to fight on that card together as well. And then it's funny too, because he fought this guy, Daniel McWilliams. And he ended up getting like a really like an early finish. And then I had my fight, and that went 3 rounds. First round, I went in there just thinking a little too much. And then I was like, he ended up sweeping me. I was like, oh, damn, like he swept me, whatever. And then like he hit me with an elbow. I was like, oh, this motherfucker. And that's when I quit thinking. I got back up and I started just fucking laying bombs. And in the second and third round, just kept dropping bombs more and more. And then 2 weeks after that, I ended up fighting Daniel McWilliams. I was supposed to fight this other dude. And this other native cat, and he ended up backing out. And then they're like, dude, we can't find you a fight, but hey, we have a guy. It's just that it's Daniel McWilliams. It's like, yeah, me. I was like, my brother just beat him. And that led to me giving up a little bit fight purse just so I could have a fight. I was like, dude, I just need to fight anyways. Mm-hmm. And I was fortunate enough that he actually took the fight. I ended up winning that with a Kimura, where it's a mounted Kimura. That there's video of it on my Instagram page, where it was just kind of, I felt it, I knew I had it, and so I just sit on top of his head and I grab the Kimura and I'm looking around for a camera to smile at, and I smile and wink and I hit the Kimura. I just have fun with it, man. I just like fighting. And then obviously I fought fuck. When did Kobe die? January 25th or 26th? I fought the night before. I fought the night before Kobe died. I just remember that because I remember like the day after fucking winning my fight, waking up and my brother's like, "You hear about Kobe?" I was like, "What the fuck you talking about?" He's like he came out of retirement. He's like, "No, bro, he died." I was like, "I don't even fucking care about my win anymore, man."
Yeah. We didn't believe it for a second when we saw that.
Yeah, I
All
looked at
those
my phone. I
reports.
was like, "Nah, that's not true." I was like, "I won my fight. Ain't no way Kobe's dead."
Right.
The whole day, I mean, we still enjoyed the day. We enjoyed the win, but like part of me was like, fuck, now I can't meet Kobe.
Yeah.
No, and then I ended up getting the same management as Lewis. And then that's how we got the contender series. And then yeah, that all leads back to where we were.
Dude, that's a story. That's awesome though, just being able to kind of see how you got here. Like that's like one of the coolest things about doing, the podcast is being able to hear about people's stories and see how it led up to them being, the best at what they do in the world. So dude, thanks for sharing that. But okay, but the question we have to know is who would win in a fight, you or your brother?
We actually don't do those questions. We want to, we push each other to the best. We'll joke around and be like, "Oh, I'll whoop his ass, he'll whoop my ass," and stuff like that. But at the end, like we used to kind of talk back and forth like that. But then we realized it's like, hey, and one day we actually sat down. I sat him down. I was like, "Hey, you know what? From here on out, like this is a long time ago when we were amateurs. So it was like in the start of our career, people would ask who'd win, loses. Oh, I'd probably knock him out. I was like, fuck too, I'd knock you out. And we joke around about it. And then we sat down. We're like, honestly though, we probably shouldn't answer questions like that. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, thinking about it though. Do you really think that you can beat me? He's all, I don't actually ever think about it. I was like, I don't ever actually think about fighting you and beating you, right? I was like, we push each other to be the best. He's like, yeah. And I was like, so we've come to the agreement that it's not that I'm bigger and I'm stronger and shit like that, or he has like the better striking, or I have the better grappling, whatever, blah blah blah. We literally will say we're both equal, we're both even, and we're just going to be here to help each other push each other to be the best. I wouldn't be where I'm at without him, and he wouldn't be where he's at without me.
Dude, I might like that answer better than answer the question. So
way better.
We just want to push each other, to be the best. It was unfortunate that in his last fight, he ended up tearing his shoulder during the fight. In the first round, he said he felt his shoulder go out as he dropped the Sasha guy. And then when he went up to go try to finish the fight, he's all, bro, I couldn't even feel my arm. He's like, every time I try to go, it just wouldn't do it. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, dude, I remember I was actually at a college football game, and I'm like, dude, the Lewis dude from the Contender Series is fine. I got to freaking put it on. I'm sitting there at the football game with my phone, and yeah, I saw he was absolutely dominating like the first 3/4 of the first round. But hey, stuff happens. It's part of the game, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's weird. People are like, "Oh, work on his gas tank," but then like he said, he went and talked to the doctor after though. No, you tore it pretty bad, man. Like when just during that fight, the fact that you kept using it, you tore it more and more. They're like, and a lot of people don't realize this, but you'll gas yourself out. It's like, like say you tore like a leg muscle and you try to go run, you're gonna gas out a lot faster because you're trying to use other muscles in order to not contract that one muscle that you need to use. And so it actually wears you down a lot more because the O2 is going to other places rather than going to the one spot it needs to. So it just weighs heavier on your body. And that's exactly what happened to him. I mean, no excuse, he took the fight. Shit happens. There's other people where, Chris Weidman threw a leg kick.
Jeez, that was bad.
And he still had to take the loss, though. He still lost by TKO, which is weird. Like, freaking nature shit happens. And,
without a punch being thrown.
And I'm just proud of my brother that he even kept going with the injury. Like, he felt it, and then and ends up being that he had a tear in both shoulders, so he had to get surgery on both shoulders. God. So it is what it is. He'll come back stronger from it, but yeah, no, the fighting game, it's full of its advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah, and you can't teach heart, that's for sure.
True.
Yeah.
But you said it's full of advantages and disadvantages, and I imagine one of them is getting to meet people like Uriah Faber, who you obviously work with. He was in your corner in the Contender Series fight. So what's that like? I mean, Uriah Faber is a UFC legend, and probably going to go down as one of the best fighters of our generation. So, I mean, what's that like? Because that's got to be very interesting.
I mean, it was cool. I grew up watching the guy on TV. I remember watching him on WEC, and I was thinking, damn, like, how cool would it be to ever meet that guy? Finally meet the guy at actually my last amateur fight. My brother and I met him, and that was back in shit. I want to say 2015 or 2016 or something like that. I think it was 2016, and then finally I ended up making the move down to Sacramento late 2017 after a good buddy of ours died. And he's it wasn't not Uriah, but my buddy Jeremy after he died, because he was the one that got my brother and I into the UFC, like not UFC, but MMA world. You know, we were helping him with his grappling, our like wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and he would help us with our boxing and kickboxing and shit like that. But we just always pushed each other. So he's like a brother to us. But yeah, I made the move, and then I think it was like a year and a half while I was living down here. I just couldn't find a fight, and we kept trying to find me a fight. And I was like, dude, I just need to fight. And that leads off to what I was talking about earlier about how a buddy of mine in Wisconsin was able to get me a fight on his card. But being able to work with guys like Uriah and that is really cool. Ever since I got my injury, I haven't really been in there as much as I want to be. But, you know, I still get a lot of great training at my workplace as well, because I train at my workplace, which is this UFC gym Rockland, 30 minutes away from Alpha Male. And so if I'm not in Alpha Male, I'm just getting work in there. I'm training outside and shit like that. Like leading up to, a lot of people don't really know this, but leading up to my like the Contender Series fight, a lot of the gyms were shut down. So I wasn't training at Alpha Male because the gym was forced to be shut down. My workers' place was forced to be shut down. All the gyms were shut down. So I did what I fucking did when I was a kid. I went to the middle of the woods, started running in the woods, beating up trees, climbing trees, swimming and shit like that, slamming rocks around. That old school native style training. And it kind of refers back to like the way my brother and I grew up. We grew up fighting, and then our buddies and stuff, we would do things. We'd be like, all right, hop off the school bus. We'd have this little ground that we'd meet at like before school. It'd be in the morning before school. We'd all hop off the bus and we'd say go. And we'd all just start scrapping. We literally just started like Dragon Ball Z style fighting, Superman punching, tag teaming and stuff like that, but never going 100%.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where I did like a spinning roundhouse, and I accidentally hit my buddy in the face because he came down, like he trying to duck it, but I was going for his chest. He ducked it, so I busted his lip, and he got a bloody nose from it. And when we got to school, the teacher was like, "What happened to you?" And we're like, "He fell off the bus." And bus driver ended up snitching on us. So we're just like, damn it. And she was like, "Hey, just make sure that no more bloody lips and bloody noses. I won't tell on you guys." We're like, "All right, go."
Fair enough.
It's only body punching from there on out. No, we had like run up the hill, down the hill, like right after school, we'd be running up the hill, beating the shit out of each other, running down the hill, going to the school bus, beating the shit out of each other, you know, after school, you know, go outside, play, catch scorpions, snakes, whatever we were doing for the day, and then, or swimming, and then just start fighting, just start scrapping. And we meant it out of love, you know, it was all just good time. That, I think that's the reason why we have fun when we fight. We just, you know, we're smiling when we're fighting. Lewis, he obviously his answer is different. He likes to go out there and try to finish dudes, and it's like, yeah, I want to finish the guy, but if I don't finish the dude hella fast, I ain't gonna be worried about it. You guys have seen the fight. I'm smiling throughout the fight. I'm having fun throughout the fight, so I don't care. It can last 3 rounds, but it can last 5 rounds. I'd love to do a 5-round fight eventually. You know.
I was about to say though, I mean, you say you're not looking for the finish necessarily early, but you still get the finish every time. So
I hate judges. I think they're all worthless.
Good. You better show us some more of that next month. I'll tell you what.
That's the plan. I'm expect to finish. Expect to finish.
That's what we like to hear. We don't like judges either. We don't trust them either.
That's not the reason we watch fighting.
The best part too about this is, you know, they were telling me it was going to be about a 1.5 to 2 year recovery. So I had 4 bulging discs, crushed spinal cord from the bulging disc, multiple overstrained nerves, and so I lost like feeling in like my shoulder, my pec, my tricep, my lat, the top of the forearm, and my thumb, index, and middle finger. And I was like, dude, I can't use my arm. Like it kept my wife up for a bit too. She had to tolerate it, so I'm lucky to have her. But like, I didn't sleep for like the first 3 or 4 nights. I was not able to sleep, and then finally they're like, dude, you gotta sleep. So I just took some shit to help with the pain momentarily, but ibuprofen, even taking like the what's the other stuff? Vicodin. That shit never worked. It only helped temporarily. So I just told myself, well, you know what, I'm just gonna deal with the pain. I was like, if the medication that's supposed to help with the pain isn't working, I'm not gonna take it. There's no need. So I just kept using ice and massage, chiropractic therapy and stuff like that. And I think the massage is what helped a lot more though. And then I just forced myself to work out. Like I would just be gassing myself trying to like doing battle ropes. I can literally do battle rope hard for a minute straight. Like that's if I'm going like hard, for a minute straight, minute and a half. And I was only able to get like 10 seconds in. I'm thinking like, what the, like I could barely use my right arm. I wasn't able to do a push up properly. I couldn't do a pull up without only pulling with my left side. The right side wouldn't pull. I'd have to force it. Had no feeling. It wasn't triggering because all the nerves in the neck of the brachial plexus region were overstretched. And so it just, when it's nerve damage, there's nothing that a doctor can do really. They're just going to be like, okay, well, all you can do is give it time. I was like, so how bad do you think it is? They're like, 1.5 to 2 years is what you're looking at for full recovery. And I was like, no, fuck that. So I just found a way. I just did PT, started strengthening up everything, started doing whatever I could, forcing it to get stronger and stronger and stronger again by doing the lighter rep movements, forcing the rehab. It sucked. I thought, man, dude, they might be right. But then about 4 months, 6 months later, I got full recovery.
Yeah.
Able to do all the crazy stuff I love doing again.
So would you say like going through the lead up to your first UFC fight and then having the injury and, I guess just the excitement for the fight and all that disappointment, did that just motivate you that much more?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just told myself, I was like, this is just a minor setback. I tried to hold off for one more week. I thought maybe, okay, it's just a stinger. I can get past this. And so like for the first week after the injury, I was like, dude, I'll be fine. I'll be able to take the fight. And then I just realized, I was like, hey, I had to hit up my manager and he's like, hey, how we doing, bro? Like, how's your arm? How's everything? I was like, it's still completely numb. I can't use it. I went to go throw a punch and I couldn't even throw a punch. He's all, all right, I'm calling the fight. I was like, mother. And I hate pulling up, but because I was looking forward to that Nick Dalby fight. I was really looking forward to it, not just because it's my debut, but he's a guy that's not just going to bitch out and back down. Like, he actually just fought Tim Means, and Tim Means had him almost put away in the first, but Dalby did good. He showed heart, and that's the kind of opponent I want. I want a guy those are the guys I like to break the most.
I love the ones that are going to scrap with
I love to break people. Yeah, I just want to scrap people and be like, you know what? I'm going to show this guy why I'm better. I'm going to finish this dude. And watching him fight, I was like, you know what? Like, hopefully he wins because then that looks better if I get to fight him in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But he fought a good fight against Tim Means, and Tim Means fought a good first round. But then I don't respect that kind of style of fighting. He got hurt, and then he just wanted to hold on for the rest of the third round. I was like, fuck, that's not a fighter. That's a bitch. I was like, you got hurt, you gassed out, you fought like a bitch. All right, cool. But it is what it is. That's my plan, is to get rid of fighters like that in the UFC.
Dude, that made me want to run through a brick wall. I want you to come.
I literally could right now.
Yeah, I know. I want him to be like motivational speaker for when I wake up to go to work each morning.
I wake the fuck up. But yeah, no, the fight game, it has, like I said earlier, advantage, disadvantages, and injuries are a part of it, obviously. But it's overcoming the injuries. You got these guys that they'll get injured or they'll get sick and they'll find an excuse to take more time off, versus I wasn't trying to take more time off. I was, I could have taken as much time as I wanted off. They recommended surgery for the neck, and I told them no. They're like, oh, well, we'll give you a steroid shot. I told them no. They're all, so what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to go fucking squat, deadlift, bench, overhead press, barbell row, and I'm going to run a lot. And that's exactly what I did. I started swimming more too. I was doing a lot of climbing, not like indoor rock climbing, but like, climbing up rocks to jump into the water and stuff. And it hurt. I went through the pain though. It would hurt a shit ton, but I just told myself, I was like, fun, now it's going to hurt when I jump into the water. And I just went through it. I just told myself, I was like, dude, if I can handle this pain now, nothing's going to fucking stop me later on in a fight.
Dude, again, makes you want to run through a brick wall.
Oh yeah. So obviously the crown jewel, like the end all of this, your UFC debut coming up. just a few weeks away, like 4 weeks away. Obviously, you've had a long time to prepare, and I can only imagine you're super eager. I mean, to get back in there to throw hands with somebody. So do you think you're going to add another finish to your resume? What are you thinking for this fight?
I'm always looking for the finish.
Yes, sir.
I'm always looking for the finish.
Yes, sir.
I honestly feel like I'm gonna win by knockout. You know, I've said that before, and then won by submission or something like that. But it's bet to knockout. You know, I'm gonna go out there. I've seen this guy fight. He's a brown belt, but I don't respect his grappling. I've seen his fight grappling. I've seen his wrestling. He just fought a guy in the UFC who had 0 wrestling, 0 jiu-jitsu, and he did not look too good. The guy kept pressure on him. He does not do well against pressure. And what kind of style do I have?
You just pressured the whole time.
You fucking pressure the guys. Like it, you know, it's a style that I had in wrestling too. Like I'd be tired after the fight, but I'm not tired during the fight. I never gassed during the fight, and that's because of this fact that I can pressure nonstop. That's my style. Pressure fighting is a very you have to have a high output. You have to have a very good gas tank in order to pressure people. And a lot of people think like a high pressure volume includes throwing a lot of volume, but it's not throwing a lot of volume. It's picking and choosing your shots. I don't have to throw a 5-punch with, you know, a knee combo to look good. All I need to do is set up a shot, set one strike up. And as soon as I know it lands, I can start following that up. I don't need to do 1, 2, 3, you know, like little baby pattern punches. That's not necessarily going to help you. It helps you set up the power punches. Though, and the way I see it is I use everything to set up my power. Everything to set up my power, which is based off my wrestling. So I'm really explosive from the ground up because of my wrestling. And so my striking is really only good because of wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You got to prepare for one thing.
But
It's
bad to see a brand new Orion, somebody that's eager to get that out there. And then I want a fast finish. If it's a fast finish, expect to see me fight again within the next week or 2 weeks afterwards.
Good. Wow. Let's go.
If they tell me that they don't have anything available, I'm just going to tell my management to tell Sean Shelby in the UFC, like, hurry up, give me a fight. I don't like waiting. I'll train. I'm always training, but I don't like waiting.
So much respect for that. Holy
I know. And just know we are so freaking pumped for this fight in July. And dude, do a knockout or a no look knockout like you did that submission. I think that'd be pretty sweet. Look at the camera and give it a little wink.
Look at the camera and wink as I throw an overhand.
Yeah. Do that for us. That's how we'll know like you listen to us today. But no, dude, like we're so excited for you. In a few weeks we're gonna be obviously eyes on the TV, glued to it. But thanks again for just coming on the show for a little bit today. No, probably taking up a little bit of time, but we really appreciate it. And dude, thanks for being our qualified guest on Unqualified Sports Talk.
Hey, I enjoyed it, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, sir. We really appreciate it. See you, Ryan.
Take care, guys.